Do you have, like, no connection with anyone? Or is this, like, all three of you are part of the same gang because you got the same hair? And obviously there's going to be enough to find 6 more mockingbirds, or some of them, if I missed any other ones. Let us go with Yumeko. While pursuing another case, Yumeko and her partner find out that the mermaid corpse discovered in Futamegara is that of a woman named Azusa Samakawa. The duo try to figure out what to do next. Yeah, I guess this would be the, like, direct continuation of that. But, like, still, this moment I don't think would really... I mean, you could butterfly effect all you want. This moment doesn't seem like it would really be affected by what Yuza has already done to change the outcome. Yeah, we're gonna rapid fire these fuckers. Or still missing some. But I'm doing a pretty good job. I got Blue's Cruise. Sounds like a goddamn Blue's Clues reference. This large bridge spanning Anora Bay in Toba City is known as the Anora Bridge. I hear that the waters of the bay are rich in nutrients, making them ideal for oyster farming. You can see the rafts used floating in the bay. Oh, oysters. Very nice. Oyster harvesting only begins in October, though, so I'm afraid they're out of season right now. Oh, darn it all. I knew Ise lobsters were only available from October, but to think we won't be able to eat oysters either. Please don't look so sad, ma'am. We can always come again sometime. Yeah, come again sometime for oysters. I also... Things are kind of moving so fast. I wanted to say, I feel like, what was the... Accepting Your Fate chapter with Yuza might be him doing something to allow the vision of the future thing to happen, potentially. What that is, I'm not positive, but him diving might have been to, like, leave behind that kind of memory of the events. Notable for its distinctive white arch, Anora Bridge is a 196-meter bridge spanning Anora Bay in Toba City, Meiya Prefecture. It was built to have no columns, allowing ships to pass beneath it with ease. The contrast of its white arch with the blue sea and sky and the green of the mountains paints a picturesque scene, making it popular with tourists. The bridge takes its name from its role as a crossing over Anora Bay, but the name is written with the character for Himp, sung of in old Waka poems as a vessel for divine spirits. As such, the kanji characters that make up its name differ slightly from those used to write Anora Bay. That was it, right? I saw, like, all of the new on that, and it concerned me for a minute. File update it. Again, we're, I think we have a lot of the files already, which is nice. After discovering the mermaid found in Futamegara this morning was in fact Samakawa's transfigured corpse, we headed to Ijika town for further investigation, and are now on our way back. This feels like as good an opportunity as any to take stock on our current position and talk about our next move. I mean, I don't know, what is your next move? You saw Cersei with her before, so the next move I think would be to go after her. As for why we're currently standing in the middle of the bridge, our driver overheard us talking about how impressive the scenery was while in the taxi on our way back from Ijika. They kindly agreed to wait to allow us to walk a bit and take in our surroundings from the bridge. The view really is amazing though, and the bridge itself makes for a magnificent sight. It would have been even better if we'd been able to enjoy fresh oysters on top of that. Also, if, you know, all the bad stuff didn't happen, this isn't going to help me with anything. We know what this vision is for now. But, if we run into a character that I'm awfully suspicious of and think is immortal, I'm definitely going to use vision. The view really is amazing though, and the bridge itself makes for a magnificent sight. Soto gives off the impression of being all business, but he often goes along with any suggestions I make to stop and take in the scenery. Despite appearances, I think he quite enjoys quiet moments like this. Alright, let's talk about things, Soto. Now then, as much as I'd like to relax and enjoy our surroundings, shall we take this chance to review the current situation and talk about our next move? A sound idea, yes. First, Detective Ide contacted us this morning, informing us that a mermaid corpse had washed up in Futagamura. Excuse me. However, when we went to investigate, we discovered... I like how they're giving us this recap because it has been a bit. We discovered that the corpse was in fact that of Miss Samakawa, whose whereabouts we were looking into. She had been transformed into a fish by a curse. Quite the troublesome development. She was shaping up to be a key figure in a number of incidents. With that in mind, the most likely culprits are the two foreigners we ran into the day before yesterday in Ijika. Yes, one of them was seen taking Miss Samakawa out to sea by boat. I regret not doing more to pursue them at the time. It's possible we could have saved her if we had. Yeah, I think it's crazy that they decided not to do anything with that. Like, the situation was way too suspicious to just call it a day. I'm sorry, that was poor judgment on my part. I agree, that was very poor judgment. Then the other half of the pair was a young exorcist with ties to paranormal affairs. I believe her name was Circe, yes? That's also quite worrying. I wonder what she could be up to. If it turns out she's been using curses on ordinary people, we at Paranormal Affairs will probably be held responsible. Though I doubt the Bureau would agree to act as custodian for someone who would behave so recklessly. I like to believe some manner of circumstances are at hand, yes. Well, I suppose if anything happens, I can just get the higher-ups to take responsibility. That's what higher-ups are for, aren't they? Being responsible for their subordinates? I think you'll find that's a saying used by superiors as a goal, not by subordinates to shirk responsibility. Despite her ability, I doubt that girl would be able to use the Curse of the Forsaken Fish. Why you say that? Regardless of who wielded it, I think it's safe to say that a cursed stone was involved. Agreed. We have two people from the same town falling victim to the same curse after all. I think it's reasonable to assume this was due to overzealous use of a cursed stone. Yes, the first victim was Tomiko Suma, who succumbed to the curse 2 days ago. The second was Miss Samakawa from yesterday. The state they were found in hasn't been publicly disclosed, so they're still being officially treated as missing. Still, a cursed stone housing the Curse of the Forsaken Fish, eh? Is something wrong? The Curse of the Forsaken Fish is one of the curses mermaids can use, you see. For it to have become a cursed stone, the mermaid in question must have experienced overwhelming resentment. An example might be if they were killed while bearing a powerful grudge against someone. That sounds like it would be a rare event indeed. Why do I get the feeling there was a mermaid who died like that, though? Who was it? It feels like the name's on the tip of my tongue. Could it be a memory from that time? A memory from that time? Although I imagine many of your older memories have faded by now. But she's not an immortal, so is she a mermaid? What? Is that why she has the vision? I have to try and remember. What was the name of the mermaid who died while harboring strong feelings of resentment? Well, we have like this... I'm gonna have to look. We have the specific name in our notes somewhere. From that time, what does... What does Yumeko have going on? I mean, like, she does know things about, like, the island and mermaids. That wasn't, like, on my bingo card of things. But, like, then that... in relation to, like, other stuff... God, where do I find this goddamn name? I just need to make sure it would be here. Heihachi. Hey... Spelling. Pronunciation, that ain't something that's going to happen, but spelling I can get down. Heihachi? That's right, her name was Heihachi. I can't believe it. I completely forgotten, but it just suddenly popped into my head. Oh, so there was a mermaid who died like that, was there? There was. I finally remember. One of the mermaids who lived near Ise-Shima 400 years ago was called Hayashi. She was captured during the invasion of Ise-Shima and died after being brutally tortured. This is the first I've heard of mermaids living near Ise-Shima. Okay, so... Fuck, man. Okay. So then... Is Yumeko the third mermaid then? The one that, like, went to travel the globe and wanted love? Because she is, like, really into her husband. And being kind of involved with paranormal affairs kind of would make sense. And in that instance... Is that what's happening? Is that what this is? So then her vision is more so just being a mermaid and having that stuff in her, like, back pocket. Which technically would also mean she would be able to forsaken fish a couple of people if she wanted to. But, I don't know, is that really what we're gonna go with now? Because that's... Was that hinted at before? And I just missed it? Could it be a memory from that time? Many of your older memories have faded by now. I feel like that has to be it. Especially since she said she wasn't immortal. Unless if that was a lie, but I feel like most of the time they're not lying when they say things. Like when Yuza said that the massacre and the waves are unrelated. I just have to believe him at that point. This is the first I've heard of mermaids living near Ise-Shima. Oh right, your ancestor, Harukaze Tsuchimikado, must have left them out of his records. The reason Ise-Shima was invaded in the first place was to find those mermaids, you see. I see. I was unaware of the exact reason for the invasion. It's understandable. A deliberate effort was made not to mention mermaids in any of the records left after the fact. I suppose hiding the map inside a mermaid mummy was intended to be a metaphor of sorts? I can't believe I forgot something so important. But if that curse stone is related to what happened on Ise-Shima 400 years ago, it likely has some link to the curse of the raging waves as well. If we can view the memories contained in it, we might be able to learn more about the curse of the raging waves. Ah. I wonder. Could the keepsake Harukaze left behind using the map have been the curse stone's housing and curse of the Forsaken... The curse stone housing the curse of the Forsaken fish? Ah, I see. That's certainly a possibility. I kind of, like, just assumed that Yumeko knowing something about Ise-Shima came down to, like, Paranormal Affairs just being able to get this information. But it makes kind of sense that if she had, you know, she knew that stuff and she reacted to, what's his name, old man mentioning it, that it would make sense why she would react the way she did then. In that case, it's not unthinkable something might have gotten hold of it recently, and there's a high chance it was those two foreigners. Alright, we've narrowed down our focus. It seems a change in priorities is needed. Let's find the curse stone for the curse of the Forsaken Fish as soon as possible. That should be the most efficient course of action, I think. Agreed. Still, I can't help but wonder why I suddenly remembered that mermaid's name out of nowhere. No, perhaps I should be wondering how I could have forgotten something so important in the first place. Anyone behind me? Nah. We got the, like, call to action music playing right now. It's looking increasingly likely that that pair of foreigners has the curse stone. Yes, we did just go to Ajika to see if we could find any leads on where they could have headed. Unfortunately, we weren't able to find anything promising. I wonder where they could have gone. We also still don't know why they approached Miss Samakawa. Could they be after the mermaid's relic? If I'm not mistaken, that girl, Cersei, did mention the relic. Were they looking to take it for themselves? But where would they have headed afterwards? I mean, this is just information coming into our head. Was there any logical way to come up with Kameshima? Kameshima, that's where they are. What? Kameshima? I thought we decided we weren't going there today. We failed to find any promising leads yesterday, after all. No, something's telling me they went to Kameshima. And I get the feeling this is a hunch I shouldn't ignore. Alright, so hunch. Alright, let's head to the port in Toba City. We'll catch a ferry to Kameshima from there. With how things are going, it's kind of hard to parse out whether or not there's a logical, like, leap of logic, or, you know, basically whatever's happening with Yuza, time travel shenanigans. It's filling up nicely. Alright. After arriving in Kameshima, Avi and Cersei continue to ask around about mermaids, but this garners suspicion and they find themselves unable to gain any information. Possessions. Wondering what that might be about. Well, so much for that. Even after everything we went through, we've got nothing to show for it. It's almost astounding how little we've managed to learn, like some reverse miracle. Worse, I think rumors spread and now everyone is avoiding us. This is a pickle. I can't even bring up mermaids without the islanders looking at me like I'm some odd foreigner who lost his marbles. And for some reason, mentioning Yuza Minakuchi makes things even worse. Did people hate her or something? Just hearing her name makes them recoil with undisguised disgust. Yes, I noticed that too, though your way of asking probably doesn't help much. Well, how about we take a break from investigating and go for a little sightseeing instead? Seems like there's a shrine and a lighthouse around here, so we might as well drop by. Count me in. To be honest, the way people are treating us has started to bum me out. Maybe heading to the lighthouse to unwind a bit wouldn't be such a bad idea. Let's go to the jetty instead. No, we must go to the jetty, and that's that. This is kind of wild. What? Don't scare me like that. What's gone into you all of a sudden? The waves of my yearning soul keep crashing against my chest, insisting I seek out the shore. Right, sure, the usual then. Well then, off we go. I mean, I guess Avi is possessed. Might be where the possession name comes from. It's kind of interesting how, like, we're being railroaded to determining where we need to go, but I guess, like, what are the other options? If we don't decide that the jetty is the right place to go, we go places that aren't going to lead to anything, especially when it comes to Yumeko. Like, where are we going if we don't just go to Kameshima? Although you would think it would just be another situation where they tell you to type it out. This one is a little bit more out there for me, though. I'm not positive, unless if it's just directly meeting with Yuza right away. Or with, you know, someone else. Oh, looks like we've got ourselves a spunky young lady here. Maybe we should have a word with her. Alright, this could be our last chance. Let's give it our all. Excuse me, could we speak with you for a moment? Cersei, no! There's no way she'll want to talk to us if we're like that forward. Can I look around first? I don't like the way your eyes bugged out like that. Oh, right. I forgot you were enthusiastic about it when we talked about it with you before. Foreign visitors? How unusual. And your names are Avi and Cersei? Welcome to Kameshima. My name is Kikuko. I'm an Ama diver. Kikuko, the Ama diver. Such a pleasure to meet a charming young lady in a place like this. Charming young lady, you say? Oh my. Well, now you're allowed to ask me anything you like. Can I have your hand in marriage? That will distract you from killing people, and then you will become a good guy. This jetty was built to break the waves, so fishing boats can come in and safely unload their catch. Then I suppose jet planes have nothing to do with it? Good joke, Avi. No, not at all. The structure over in the distance is called a breakwater, built to keep the waves out. Seems like it's also a popular fishing spot. Yes, but I was looking at the buildings, Cersei. I could care less about the breakwaves. Or whatever you call them. I have items. Why did I feel the sudden urge to go to the jetty earlier? Thanks to that, we ended up running into Kikuko. What's my items? The map? Well, okay. Wait, can I... The business cards. Mr. Koma's business card. I figured it might be able to use it later, so I held on to it. If she's working with the Koma, then business card might be our way in. The Tama Tobacco, Sacred Treasure of the Mermaids. I haven't had the courage to open it yet. I mean, theoretically, nothing of importance should be in there, right? We need the mermaid flesh. The curse stone bearing the curse of the Forsaken Fish. Should I really be carrying this around? Back, I say. Come to think of it, I completely forgot about the still-tied mirror that Akoma told us to look for. Guess I'll just try my luck and ask. Interesting. I mean, I believe she does work for him. Because I believe he's the one that phone called. It would be like, realistically, if we're to believe that, Yoshiatsu Yamashina I'm distracted. Give me a minute. I'm distracted. When Tsukasa mentioned something when we talked to her, she did bring up the name. Did she bring up the right name? Did she say something else? I'm doubting. I feel like I don't know why I'm looking at you, Meiko. I almost feel like she actually said a different name than Yamashina or Yoshiatsu. I might need to actually double check that because that's kind of a big deal. But he already made a deal with Wakamura. He has no reason to do a phone call and be like, oh, you'd better give yourself up or else. So it has to be someone else. The phone call made it sound like they kind of hate it. This dude's guts. So, like, that's definitely not who it is. For some reason I thought that electric pole was a sticker. Yo, blur out that text up there. Cersei, what are you thinking? Who'd have thought? Seems like just bluntly calling out to her was the best approach for all. The image of a polite and reserved Japan I've been holding on to for so long is starting to falter. For a second I thought Cersei's book was a sticker. I got really excited. She's the most approachable of all the people we've talked to by far. Maybe this time we'll actually learn something. It's a little sad to be this happy just because someone finally agreed to talk to us. I wonder who's to blame for that. What? You're saying it's my fault? Can't be. Looks like we made a solid first impression. She seems genuinely excited to talk to us. After all the lengths we went to, I refuse to leave this place without at least a few answers. I like looking around. I mean, we already kind of had that thought process. Let's just go with it. Oh, right. I just remembered. There's a particular mirror on the island that we're looking for. Do you happen to know anything about that? A mirror, you say? Well, you've come to the right woman. Alright, it's gonna lead up to us being cursed. Oh, you know it. Luckily, luck's finally on our side. Could it be that you're talking about this? Ta-da! Goodness, that's the cutest mirror I've ever seen. This is the famous Kameshima souvenir, the Kameshi Maru hand mirror. I had no idea it'd become so famous. No way. Could this be the still-tied mirror? Definitely not. Right. Oh, this isn't the one you're after? Oh well, since you seem to have taken a liking to it, I'd still love to let you have it. Consider it a memento of our meeting today. What? Really? Lucky me. I mean, obviously the best option is for us to decline, but like, what do you think's gonna happen? Are we just going to immediately game over? Decline. Actually, I changed my mind. I don't need it after all. You sure? It's free, you know. Well, when you put it like that, strongly decline. No, I'm sure. I absolutely decline. What does Cersei think about all this? She's just kind of staring blankly. It seems like a weird outburst. Okay, sure. If you feel that strongly about it, I won't press you. Ha! Ha! Anyway, what we're looking for is actually a bronze mirror. A bronze mirror? Like, it just seems like it would be weird for Keikuko to immediately kill us, but if we start to press her on, like, her boss, that would give her a good excuse to do it. You mean the type you'd see in history books? Yeah, probably. Something like that. No, I can't say I know anything about that. Shame. I guess, too, though, if she's just here to, get Sato, she maybe wouldn't be privy to the mirror thing as well. I've never heard anything about a bronze mirror on this island. Talk about Ama divers right now. Nothing that would be too, like, put her in a corner. So you're an active Ama diver then? Are there many young divers these days? Not really. The younger generation doesn't really go for diving anymore. Just makes more sense to pursue higher education. I see. It's a real shame to see such a long-standing tradition slowly fade away. Well, it is quite dangerous after all. You could drown 5 times. Can't really blame them for choosing safer options. Just the other day, I heard 2 Ama divers went missing around Toba. Uh-oh. Want to talk about the ones that went missing? Speaking of Ama divers. I heard Ama divers have a legend that if you go diving around here, there's a chance a Tomokazuki might emerge from the depths. Ah, Cersei! Enough with ghost stories! Hahaha, you sure know a lot, don't you? You're right, it's a well-known legend. Not that I've seen it with my own eyes or anything. Don't know anyone who has either. Huh. Maybe your Simon and Doman symbols have kept you safe? Oh, those? I don't have any. I don't really go in for superstitions like that. Are you really okay without them? I think it's no more than an old tradition, meant to remind us not to forget our gratitude and respect towards the sea. All those old-fashioned rules and traditions, don't you think it's about time for a reform? But isn't free diving close to a Shinto ritual and spirit? Isn't showing reverence and offerings to the sea god crucial? Oh, you're pretty devout for a foreigner. I'm impressed. Also, I'm mad at you about it. If you had a mirror, I'd kill you on the spot. But you know, I believe it's exactly because of tedious customs like that one that young people are losing interest in diving. We should keep up with the times, otherwise there's no way this tradition will survive. Well now, that's very level-headed thinking. Hahaha, maybe it's because I'm part of the so-called new generation. Some people don't like my attitude, but I get the job done. More about this? Some of the young divers go to high school on the mainland and then work as Ama divers when they return home. Ah, I guess there's also that guy who just started working as an Ama here. I saw him earlier. I didn't realize men could become Ama divers too. It's not like it's forbidden. It is pretty rare though. This is the first time I've ever seen it happen. Interesting. Should I think about anything? Definitely don't pull out my items yet. Oops, I just dropped my business card from someone that I think you might be interested in. What did I feel this... Okay, same thing. Alright, well, Avi came here for mermaids. Let's go mermaids. This may be a bit out of nowhere, but you don't happen to know anything about mermaids, do you? Although Mare, I don't think she would really have much to say about that. Huh? Mermaids? Oh, so you do know something. When you say mermaids, you mean mermaids, right? The mythical creatures? Precisely, the very same. Rumor has it that the island houses some kind of secret connection to mermaids, but I haven't been able to ascertain whether it's true or not. So tell me, any mermaid secrets about? Are you saying you really came all the way out here to look for mermaids? More or less, so any information you may have would be a huge help. Sorry, I don't really have anything for you, but I do happen to be a little interested in mermaids myself. Fantastic, another fan entranced by the mystery. They say that eating the flesh of a mermaid will grant you immortality, right? I'd imagine she knows that much about Sato, right? That's why she needs to take her in. And why she was fine with giving Sato a little love slash, because it wouldn't kill her. That's right, could you perhaps be interested in immortality as well? I guess so. Not for myself, though. Oh? Okay, that's a good topic to push on, so let's just go with Mare. Oh, right. Actually, there's someone we're looking for on this island. Would you mind if we asked you about them? Sure, who is it? A woman named Yuza Minakuchi. Ah. What is that face? See, that's exactly how everyone else around here has been reacting when we asked about her. No, it's just... I'm sorry, but that woman died in an accident at sea 5 years ago. Ah, yes, we were well aware that she has passed away. Huh? Then why do you ask? Did she leave anything behind, or was there perhaps someone who was close to her? Anything like that? Sorry, I've got no idea. Nobody on this island really knew her. Although her son has just returned to the island. Actually, the guy I was talking about earlier, the new Ama diver, that's her son. Her son, you say? Now it's getting interesting. And in the normal timeline, we just go to the lighthouse and we don't really know enough to make that connection right away. We'd certainly like to meet him. Do you know where he is? Sorry, no idea. Apparently he's going around taking the mirrors. That's messed up. But he's gotta be somewhere around the island. His name is Yuza Minakuchi. I'll give you his home address. You might find him there. Wow, thank you. This is invaluable information. Talk more about it. By the way, you wouldn't happen to know why everyone is frantically dodging our questions about Yuza Minakuchi, would you? Was she such a terrible person? It's something people don't really like to talk about. She didn't fit in much with the other islanders. No one knows much about her either. Why are you so interested in her anyway? Well, this is kind of a secret, but it seems that Yuza Minakuchi had some sort of connection to the mermaids. Huh? You don't say. I see, so that's why. Oh, did you remember something? Not really, it's just that I always thought she was a little off, almost as though she wasn't actually human. Huh? I mean, could that still be a possibility when we have the sibling thing? Maybe she never was. That would be weird. So you're saying Mari might not have been human after all? That she was actually a mermaid? Huh? No way, I was just joking. She was kind of weird, sure, but a mermaid? That's a bit far-fetched, don't you think? Right. I mean... So if Mare, like, had that connection with the mermaid, whichever one, I forgot its name. I mean, there's a profile for it. Sobe. And I don't think Samikawa ever saw Mare and Sobe at the same time, but they still look similar, so that kind of seems weird. That seems like it would be far-fetched if we still go with the mermaid angle. But, like, I mean, she could have been adopted. Maybe they're not actually supposed to look that similar, but, like, characters have mentioned that they look similar. Maybe mermaids can, like, make themselves look like other... I guess that could be it. Shit, could that be it? They, obviously, for the Tamakazuki, mermaid immortality thing, they talked about, like, making clones and then, like, transferring the soul over to it. Maybe in that way, it was a soul transfer kind of thing. that seems complicated. But I don't know if that's impossible. Like, the family line obviously had an interest in keeping mermaids alive. Or not alive, but keeping the mermaid secret, helping mermaids out. Helping Sobe out. So maybe, in a way, part of that was cloning, but using... I don't really know enough about the soul transfer thing, besides it going from the original body to the clone. It's a shaky theory. Talk about mermaids. So you mentioned that the island has some sort of connection to mermaids? More than just a little interested, are you? Well, in fact, right here in Ise Bay, there used to be... Wow, so mermaids used to live on this Ise-Shima place? So you think there may still be some clues here in Kameshima that will lead you to the mermaids in Ryogu? I think we gave her way too much information. Nail on the head and right on the button. Unfortunately I can't say that I've heard any mermaid stories on this island before. A pity. Oh, that reminds me. I caught a glimpse of something inside your bag earlier. Was that by chance the tobacco? What? Sorry, I just happened to notice. And judging by your reaction, I'd say I'm right. Damn it, I didn't think it'd be that noticeable. Was that because I looked in my inventory? A glimpse alone shouldn't have given away that it was the tobacco. My initial guess was just a bluff, but Avi's reaction confirmed it. Damn, if only he had a poker face. Look, Cersei's mad about it. Cersei, I'm sorry. We're definitely diverging a little too much going in here. Cersei's on high alert. The supernatural may be involved here. Elsa would be on high alert. Be careful. Of course. So, I mean, I figured this would be the moment where if we had the mirror, it would lead to a bad end, which we could probably bum rush real quick. Her whole demeanor shifted the instant she realized I had the tobacco. Dang it, could she be after it too? I don't know why I talked to you again. It's the same thing 3 times in a row. The surroundings have changed. We're on Earth. It feels like the air completely shifted. Even the waves look heavy with tension. I'm just glad I don't have a mirror. I kind of doubt it was because I looked at my item pouch, but it could have been. I've got a bad feeling about the way she's looking at us right now. Kikuko, why the interest in the tobacco? It's some kind of ancient mermaid treasure, right? My, you're well informed. We didn't tell you about that part, though? Would you be willing to hand it over to me? I'll make sure it's worth your while. Huh? You see, I know someone who's ridiculously rich and in search of eternal life. They'd be willing to pay a small fortune for that thing. They'll offer the kind of money you probably only get to see once in a lifetime. So what do you say? Whoa, slow down. Avi? Heh, much more than some third-rate rider like yourself could earn in a lifetime. I don't know what you could possibly need the tobacco for anyway, but wouldn't you like to move up in the world? I believe I understand your offer, Kikuko. But my answer is no, not a chance. No way, no how. It's never been about money. It's about the thrill, the adventure. Adventure? Exactly. Embarking on a journey to unravel the secret of the mermaid's immortality. What better adventure could a man ask for? You may call me a romantic, and that's what I am. An adventurer at heart. You've totally lost me. You're throwing this chance away for some childish adventure? You wouldn't understand. I'd put my life on the line to find a mermaid. I'm not handing the box over. I see. Seems like there's no reasoning with you. It'd be so much easier if you had it. Huh? Why'd you have to refuse the mirror? This would have been so much easier. Huh? Oh, the mirror? I don't know. I just felt like the right thing to do. Why do you ask? Are things not going as planned? I'm not sure what's going on, but I feel like we might have just narrowly escaped danger. I just wonder if it would be a bad end or just a game over. Sounds like if we had that mirror on us, she would have been able to steal the Tamatabako. I'd like to get more information out of her, but it seems as though she's plotting something. Can I do anything by looking at these? Throw it away. Interesting. Huh. The only thing I can think of is if we had a chance to throw the mirror away. Like, it would be convenient to be able to throw away the mirror at this time instead of having to go all the way back in the conversation tree. There's no doubt about it, Kikuko wants to take the Tamatabako from us. But even so, the Tamatabako won't grant immortality without the flesh of a mermaid. If she has any other information about mermaids, we need it. Oh. Don't want to look. She's probably just going to say, be careful. Avi, focus. I need you to listen to me, but without taking your eyes off Kikuko. Huh? Oh, got it. I'm pretty sure she has a curse stone. What? What's this all about? I couldn't tell right away because it was masked by the heavy veil of cursed energy that's all over the island, but that makes sense. On closer inspection, the cursed stone's aura is impossible to conceal. Well, so the best thing we can do if we really want to get sassy with it is throw the Tamatabako into the ocean to turn her into a fish. Huh? Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. What if the condition to activate her curse was holding onto one of those mirrors? Then we can relax, right? The condition isn't met. Well, only if the mirror was all there is to it. As long as we don't know for sure what the condition is, we need to stay on high alert. Do I still have to just look at her? What if I don't look at her? I've got a bad feeling about this. Maybe we should retreat. Even if we did, we'd always be looking over our shoulders, afraid she might come after us. Then we need to get her to surrender somehow. Ideally, we'd take away her curse stone too. I mean, we'll talk, but like if we throw it in the ocean and then we like confirm to her like you're screwed, she doesn't have to be fully submerged in the water, right? She just has to be in it. Think, Avi, think. There are 3 things that have utmost priority right now. 1, above all else, make it out alive without triggering her curse conditions. 2, get a hold of her curse stone. Leaving it with her is much too risky. 3, get her to give up on the Tamatabako and surrender to us. And if she has any information about mermaids, we need to get that out of her too. I guess that's 4 things. Anyway, I need to extract whatever information I can while we're locked in conversation. I had nothing to look at her about. Talk about the Tamatabako. So, why don't you enlighten us? Who told you about the Tamatabako? Who knows? Think they'll get it out of me with that attitude? She still hasn't given up on the Tamatabako. So, what, who knows? Curse stone. Hey, Kikuko, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Yeah? Ta-da! What are the odds? Turns out we both got curse stones. This one's called the Curse of the Forsaken Fish. When its conditions are met, it transforms you into a fish and kills you. Pretty messed up, huh? What? Avi, are you sure? You were planning to use your curse stone on us to steal the Tamatabako, weren't you? But your curse stone requires us to have one of those hand mirrors, am I right? On the other hand, I can use my curse on you whenever I so please. You're bluffing. Your curse stone must have a condition too. Yeah? Who's to say it hasn't already been met? Now, cease your scheming and tell us what you know. Okay, same thing. Tamatabako. So, why don't you enlighten us? Who knows? Think we'll get that out of me with that attitude? She still hasn't given up on the Tamatabako. Kinda the same thing. Talk about curse stone. Do you really have the resolve to kill someone with a curse? Well, not exactly keen on it, but I am prepared to defend my life if necessary. I don't want to bring up that you killed someone before. Really, I wasn't expecting this from such a kind gentleman. You look like you wouldn't hurt a fly. Indeed, my heart is pure, but trust me, I'm quite capable. Experience has hardened my resolve. Eh? You're saying you've actually used it before? Heh, at this point, what difference does one more death to the tally make? My hands are already stained. Damn, so you're a proper criminal. Maybe I should report you to the cops. Be my guest. I wonder which is faster, my curse or your phone call. Also, it's a curse stone. How do you report to the cops? What about your lady friend? Well, are you okay with this? I'm afraid there's no restraining Avi. I've pretty much given up on him at this point. So it'd be great if you could just give up and hand over the curse stone. What the fuck is this? You guys are absolutely insane. Oh, come on now. I think we can agree that we both have our issues. Good, we're at a stalemate. Now I can try to extract some more information out of her. Good job, Cersei, making her believe I've lost it. Very convincing. Actually, maybe a little too convincing. Does she really think I'm that crazy? Whatever, I've got more important things to focus on now. We have nothing else to talk to you about. Talk about Tamatabako now? Alright, look, seems like you're just as dead set on the Tamatabako as I am. This standoff won't get us anywhere. Why don't you tell us your motivation? Maybe we'll be able to find a compromise. Compromise? Say, for example, if granting your wish were to stir the spirits of adventure within me. I cannot hand over the Tamatabako, but perhaps I'd be willing to let you borrow its power of immortality. I've got no romantic tale for you. I told you, I just want to get that rich person what he's looking for so he can see how important I am to him. That's all there is to it. Oh, important you say. How's that? That's basically what she said about getting Sato. Because I'm his illegitimate child. Oof. But he simply refuses to admit it. Whatever I do, he won't even acknowledge my existence. I mean, just look at me. I must be a disgrace in his eyes. But a woman like me shouldn't be wasting her life away on some backwater island. I was born of noble blood. I wasn't meant to rot in this miserable place. Yet he cast me aside and refuses to even acknowledge my existence. It's humiliating. So your father's some rich man? Yeah, there's hardly anyone in Ise-Shima who doesn't know the name Yoshiatsu Yamashina. It's a noble bloodline stretching back centuries, and here I am stuck in this wretched life. Yamashina, hey? I've done everything in my power to earn his recognition. I gave it my all to make it in the big city, and for what? Nothing I tried worked out. In the end, I had to come crawling back to this island trying to make ends meet as an ama diver. But I still kept telling myself that someday, somehow... I see, so you figured that since Yamashina is seeking immortality, you could leverage the box to get what you want at the same time. Yeah, I used to work at this small company. The young CEO at the place is basically Yamashina's protege. Who might that be? I guess he felt sorry for me, so he let it slip that Yamashina was after immortality. Interesting. Was he the one who told you about the cursed stone in the Tamatabako as well? Yeah. Since even Yamashina doesn't know about this, he suggested I use it to my advantage and take the credit. He gave me the cursed stone and told me to use it wisely. I mean, that basically confirms everything that we thought about with that. Originally, I had planned on offering something different to Yamashima, but now that I've got a chance for the Tamatabako, that's my best option, delivering Sato? Oh, how intriguing. So you wanted to trade the Tamatabako for Yamashina's recognition? That's right. See, I knew we were never going to find a compromise. True. It's a compelling story, but it's missing a certain adventurous allure. That company president you mentioned, how come he knew about the Tamatabako and the curse stone? Just who exactly is he? I was wondering the same thing. Of course you were. He's an incredible person after all. Mercer Kipe Koma is an amazing man. It's thanks to him I got a chance to make my dream come true. Please don't look too shocked. Oh! Did you just say a coma? Okay, at least he didn't do, like, crazy shocked face. I think, like, the connection was pretty reasonable to make. A coma? Could she be talking about the same guy? I mean, we knew that he was into that stuff. He was looking into it. So, like, of course that's gonna be it. Kind of half expected when Cersei said to keep an eye on Kikuko that I would get, like, back attacked. No, I keep talking. Talk about Akoma. Kippe Akoma, you say? From Sala Planning? Huh? You know Mr. Akoma? Indeed. Just met him the other day, in fact. I even got his business cards. Huh? You have Mr. Akoma's business cards? Hmm? Wait, then that business card you took out earlier what says? Oh yeah, so she totally saw us look at our inventory. That's right. Want to see it? No, it's fine. You hold on to that. If you say so. Damn. Do we have information on that? Did it have... What? A curse echo? Yikes, did we mess up? Nah. Placus Asteri, guide his path, and with thy merciful hand protect him. Why? You have Mr. Akoma's business card. The condition should have been met, so why? Yikes, I thought I was done for. You were. I'm sorry, all I can do is delay the curse. I can't dispel it. It's gonna take effect in about 1 minute, so you need to do something before then. Huh? Like what? A curse is dispelled by eliminating its caster. What comes next is up to you. What? Eliminate? Why do I have to keep doing this? Shove Kikuko into the ocean. We don't have the option to throw the box. Aw, damn it, I refuse to die here. Kirk? Yeah, what's with you? Yeah. Haha, she fell into the water. It's now or never. What if I just say never? No time to waste, she could climb back out any second. Huh, no, it's no good, I can't bring myself to do it. I'm sorry, I can't hold it any longer. Bad end. I kind of feel like we didn't get enough information too, which is... I couldn't do it. Damn it. My dream will forever be left unfulfilled. Abby! Yeah, so just a normal death ending. I'm interested to see what other options we could do, because, like, we could have thrown away the business card. Oh my, it seems you have met a rather unpleasant fate. This is merely conjecture on my part, but once the conditions for the curse are fulfilled, there's no choice but to accept what must be done. But rest assured, you may start anew from the moment Kikuko uses her curse. Like, we could get to a point where we don't have to do this. Yeah. Oh. She's a fish now. I feel like this would be a bad end. Like we didn't get enough information to lead to a good outcome. I retrieved the cursed stone from the ocean. Are you alright, Avi? Well, I barely made it out alive, but I can't say I feel particularly good about it. So it had to come to this. No turning back now, it seems. This is what happens when you deal with curses. They might turn back on you at any moment. You should be prepared for that. Understood. So what about the curse stone? What's it like? Yeah, about that. Huh? A bronze mirror? That's right, a palm-sized bronze hand mirror, so she already knew that much then. Wait, don't tell me the still-tied mirror was actually a cursed stone all along? The cursed stone's resentful memory doesn't seem to indicate anything like that. So this curse stone had a resentful memory too, eh? What did you learn? There's so much information, it's hard to make sense of it. Here, take a look for yourself. Don't just toss it like that. It's a curse stone, not a baseball. So you're not gonna look? Of course I am. Let's see. Whoa, so this is the real deal. Oh, a mermaid? There's a mermaid on it. Biography of Tamashige. Tara no Tamashige was born as the son of Tara no Kiyomori's younger brother Yoromori in the latter half of the Heian period maybe I should have looked at the curse first, I don't know. Of the Heian period at the height of the Tara clan's power. Although his father Yoromori was the only child born of the official wife of Tara no Tadamori, part of the main lineage of the Tara clan, he maintained a differential attitude towards Kiyomori, a stance that made Tamashige regard him with contempt and fueled his ambition to one day stand at the head of the Tara clan. He also believed himself to be the rightful heir to Nukemaru, a famous sword that his father had inherited as part of his birthright. Sato, the girl from Kusawa village. Around the same time, Sato was living a simple life in Kusawa village, the place of her birth. One day, she happened to encounter a visiting Onmyoji and was offered the chance to work at the bureau of Onmyo in Kyoto. Sato readily accepted, having always felt out of place in the village due to her faint spirit sense, and left Kusawa to work in the bureau of Onmyo as a maidservant. At the end of a certain year, Tara no Kiyomori's daughter, Noriko, gave birth to the imperial prince. Although Tamashige visited the palace with his father to celebrate the birth, he soon grew bored with the proceedings and left, only to encounter Sato, who was attending to odd jobs nearby. Tamashige was intrigued by Sato, who made no attempt to curry favor with him and whose thoughts he found difficult to read, and he frequently visited her from then on. Not yet having an official wife, it was not uncommon for Tamashige to spend his time on alliances with women, with Sato being the latest among them. However, as their interactions continued, he found himself becoming particularly drawn to her. He eventually had a pair of bronze hand mirrors made and gifted one to her, telling her to carry it with her at all times as a sign of their vow to each other. So this is not the mirror. This is the other part of that pair. The fall of the Tara clan. In 1185, the Tara clan was defeated at the Battle of Dan no Ora, spelling its ruin. Tamashige, who had fled from place to place as if to desperately avert his eyes from the Tara clan's decline, ultimately did not participate in the decisive battle at Dan no Ora, and came to know of the Tara clan's downfall while he was lying low in a remote village in Ise with Sato. Although initially terrified of being hunted down by soldiers of the Minamoto clan, Tamashige regained his senses upon seeing Sato's unbroken composure. Now believing that it lay with him to restore the Tara clan as one of its sole survivors, he swore an oath to his fallen clan that he would see its rise again one day. While survivors of the Tara clan being hunted down across the country, Tamashige continued to search for a way to return the situation to his advantage. In the process, he suddenly remembered a box that his grandfather Tadamori had left the family, a tamatabako proffered by a fisherman that was said to contain the flesh of a mermaid. Although Tadamori had refused to accept it, a member of the clan had secretly hidden it in a storehouse back in their homeland. It was said that eating mermaid flesh would grant eternal life to whoever ate it. However, legend also had it that the meat was highly poisonous, with even a small bite being fatal. No one had wanted to eat it as a result, and it had ended up forgotten as the years went by. Alright, so maybe he didn't do it for Sato's sake, but to see if she got poisoned. Believing that dying due to poison would hardly be any different from their fate if they were caught and killed, Tamashige located the tamatabako and pried open the lid. However, all that was inside was a dried sliver of meat, so shriveled as to resemble a splint of wood. Dubious, Tamashige pushed his misgivings aside and ate the meat, but felt no different than before, believing that long years had robbed the meat of its power. And seeing the tamatabako as his only clue to find the mermaid, he boarded a small boat with Sato and set out to sea. So if he ate the meat, then he should be immortal too. But the curse of the Tamashige, of Tamashige is what it is, so... believing that a mermaid would surely come to reclaim the Tamatabako if it was truly linked to them in some way, Tamashige continued to row the small boat into the sea of Ise. At the time, he was clad from head to toe in the armor of a warrior, and had with him the famed sword Nukimaru, an heirloom he had seized from his father Yorimari, whom he had scorned as a disgrace to their clan. Sato, meanwhile, wore only a light kimono. After they had rowed for a while, a sudden mist descended over the sea around them, obscuring their surroundings. As Tamashige and Sato looked around fearfully, they heard a small splash. Turning to look, the two gasped as they saw what appeared to be a human hand reach up from the water before grabbing onto the boat's edge. In a rush of water, a being with human features from the waist up and fish-like features from the waist down emerged from the sea. It was a goddamn mermaid! Climbing onto the boat, the mermaid screamed for them to give back the box before suddenly lunging at them. Too stunned to think clearly, Tamashige drew his sword and slashed at the mermaid. There was a dull sound of a blade slicing through flesh, and the mermaid let out a piercing cry before diving back into the water and fleeing the area. Still trying to process the sudden turn of events, Tamashige glanced down and caught sight of a small piece of the mermaid's tail, apparently severed by his previous blow, lying in the pool of blood. He picked it up, only to find that it continued to twitch even as he held it. Finding himself too disgusted to try to eat it immediately, he decided to stow it in the Tamatabako for the present. Eventually, after some hesitation, he forced Sato to eat it despite her protests. They waited a while, but no change seemed to come over her. Thinking that the amount of mermaid flesh simply hadn't been enough, Tamashige made to pursue the mermaid, but as he did so, he noticed the mist around them had cleared. As the two looked around, they realized that their small boat was surrounded by ships belonging to a band hunting down remnants of the Tara clan. Alarmed, they tried to flee, but with their attackers pressing in on them from all sides, were unable to find any means of escape. Amidst the chaos, Sato was struck in the head by an arrow and fell into the sea. Tamashige, still determined to retaliate, continued to frantically resist with his sword. However, he was vastly outnumbered and, unable to break through his attacker's ranks, was ultimately cut down in a single stroke. On the brink of death, Tamashige's gaze fell on the crests worn by his pursuers. Consumed by bitter regret of his failure to restore his clan, he directed the full brunt of his resentment towards these symbols as they sank beneath the waves, cursing his enemies and clinging to his vindictive hatred until the very end. Still kind of goes with my thought that Ikamo is an immortal, potentially, in that his clan would be the pursuers. The crest itself is what is important, presumably. Curse born from the Tara no Tamashige's feelings of malice and resentment when he was struck down 800 years ago following the fall of the Tara clan. Part of the clan's main lineage, Tamashige had been seeking mermaid flesh in a bid to attain immortality with the goal of eventually reviving the Tara clan, but was killed before realizing his dream. Maybe just the flesh that was in the box was not mermaid flesh. The curse uses a specific symbol as its target and kills those who carry that symbol within the area specified by the user by cleaving them in two. Its effective range is several hundred meters. So, does, it's not the mirror itself then, not reflections. It was specifically, I wouldn't be there, culture society. Is part of this design, or is it like the text that's on the mirror itself? I don't remember if we had any information about what was on the card, but like I don't know if that would count as a crest or not. Nothing about this looks like a crest. Nothing on this side looks like a crest either to me, but I'm not familiar enough with it. So this is the curse of Tara no Tamashige that grew over 800 long years. Tara no Tamashige, never heard of him. Cersei, you felt the story unravel in your mind. You have to have heard of him with that. He wasn't exactly what you'd call a historically important figure, even within the Hike. Seems that he sought out the mermaid's power of immortality to restore the Hike, but his pursuit ended in failure. That resentment, it must have dwelled within Tamashige's bronze mirror. eventually turning it into a cursed stone. Most likely. Okay, so it is that symbol. That's the symbol specifically. Then, the symbol on the hand mirror and the business card were the true cursed target. So that's what it was. If only we'd realized it sooner. Well, what's done is done. Don't be too hard on yourself. Kikuko mentioned she got her cursed stone from Ikoma, right? Exactly. To think that slippery snake was sneaky enough to put the cursed marker on his own business cards. That Ikoma guy's seriously dangerous. That was way too close. Good thing we were cautious, especially since it seems he's after the Tamatabako too. Yeah, seems like working without him turned out to be the right call. Although he may grow suspicious if we can't contact Kikuko anymore. If he can't contact Kikuko. Considering he's after the Tamatabako, there's a chance he might still chase after us. We need to keep our guard up. I think it's safe to assume he already knows about Miss Samakawa and the Tamatabako. I do wonder why he told us to go look for the still-tied mirror too. Well, it's not this mirror, and we've got no reason to follow his orders anyway. I'd rather try and find out more about the mermaid as soon as possible. You're right, we didn't learn anything from Kikuko. Looks like we've got no choice but to continue our investigation of the island, shall we? I'm definitely going back to try to do that without... Could you hold on for a moment? No, someone's there. Yuck! Ah! You! Alright, I was afraid about who woman might be, but... It's fine. It's fine knowing now who woman is. We can definitely go back to this, too. So, was killing her really our best option, then? This is interesting. Saying that... Start from Kikuko's death. Why are there more options with this one? Standoff mirror. Oh wait, is it saying standoff we have the mirror though? Interesting. I'm curious what would happen if we throw this, since we have the options. Throw it away. No way, it'd be insane to just toss it like that. Never mind. We never had that option. I mean, I guess this leads us to having no choice but to give it up, right? Hopefully I don't skip anything new. Oh, it just ends with me dying immediately. No, it hurts so much for talking. Okay, well that wasn't really anything of use, was it? We could throw away the mirror, but then I think that leads us to just where we were. Oh my, seems we met a rather unpleasant end. This is merely conjecture on my part, but things seem to be going quite smoothly right up until Kikuku's true nature was exposed. Only one who can stop Kikuku from committing those murders is Mr. Barnum, after all. However, it appears you were holding on to something that gave her the upper hand. I'd recommend you dispose of that item before incurring her wrath. Do not fret, you may start anew. We'll just do it again from there. I know I might have skipped some dialogue, but for the most part it was just going to be the fact that we were going to get killed. So, let's not get killed. Can we throw away the, Cersei, pass me the hand mirror you received earlier. Huh? Oh, sure. Take that, and some of this. Ah. Huh? Can we throw away the card too, for fun? I can't say why, but I've got a bad feeling about this business card. I'll just sneakily toss it. Alright, I don't think anyone noticed. How can you do that without anyone noticing? Everyone's staring at you, Abby. Okay, so where were we? It'd be much easier if you had it. Okay, that basically led to the same. Why'd you suddenly throw away the mirror? That would have been so much easier. Oh, the mirror? I don't know. It just felt like the right thing to do. Okay, basically the same thing, except instead of not taking the mirror. Do I have to think? Maybe I have to look at my curse stone. Throw it away. No way. I don't know why. Maybe Cersei. I need to talk to Cersei because she needs to tell me that there's a curse stone. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. At this point, what difference does one stain already stain? I'm crazy. So what kind of curse do you possess? Don't know, don't care. Oh, come on, not even a hint? We, on the other hand, have laid pretty much all of our cards on the table already. Well, you don't tell her how it's done. What are you talking about? Who would do such a reckless thing? This brings up all this, and then who is behind it. It kind of seems like this might lead to a bad end, honestly, considering the situation we were at before. You must already know that the Tamatabako alone does not grant immortality. We also need the flesh of a mermaid. You wouldn't happen to know where to find that, would you? Tough luck. I hear that Yamashina's already got his hands on some. Come again? No, he got rid of that. It wasn't a real mermaid. Rumor has it, he came across a mermaid's dead body somewhere out at sea. That's why I need that Tamatabako. If I gave that to him, he'd have no choice but to finally recognize my worth. Rather than a mermaid, could it be her? No doubt about it. Alright, we'll talk about from the thing. I even got his business card. You have Mr. Koma's business card? Oh, never mind. My bad, my bad. I must have left it at the end. Can't believe this. So what happens at this point, then? Cersei? What is it? I figured it out. The condition. Really? What is it? It was hidden on the hand mirror all along. Oh. I guess I have to point it out. It was Kameshima. Well, so, I mean, the shame is I don't think I would have noticed it on the business cards. But I guess we could have gotten to this point without me being pushed into a corner. See the symbol over there? I just couldn't shake the feeling I'd seen it before. I definitely didn't notice it before. And sure enough, Ikoma's business card had the same symbol on it. Oh, you're right. This mirror is suspicious, and a business card with the same symbol as that suspicious hand mirror is equally suspicious. Simple as that. So that's why you threw the card away earlier. Oh, you noticed? Either way, seeing Kikuko's reaction to hearing we had one of his business cards told me everything I needed to know. Enough with the whispering already. Hahaha, the jig is up, young lady. The condition for your curse is the mysterious symbol inscribed on both the hand mirror and the business cards. Yeah. You see, we have nothing more to fear. Cersei, your turn. Apologies, I'm gonna have to be a bit rough. You may experience after effects. Yeah. Yeah. And so, we managed to apprehend Kikuko to Tsutsu. Apparently, Cersei's binding spell weakens those untrained in the spiritual arts and causes them to fall into a daze, almost intoxicated state. Before losing consciousness, Kikuko quietly surrendered and handed over the curse stone. Unfortunately, it appears she really knew nothing more about mermaids after all. She didn't have any idea how Ikoma came into possession of a cursed stone either. To ensure she couldn't interfere any further, we restrained her at her home and made sure she would remain asleep for the time being. Much later that very night, we learned that Kikuko had planned to massacre the island's residents using the hand mirrors she'd distributed. By sheer coincidence, our actions had also prevented a mass slaughter. Yay us! So what about the curse stone? What's it like? Yeah, about that. So we really can just have one be a bad end and one be a decenter end, because this is just... everything else is the same, right? Yeah, this is like all the same stuff. Never heard of him. Most likely. I wonder if it matters at all, this, like, change? This is all the same things, okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if Kikuko never comes up again, her being alive or dead doesn't really matter. I do wonder why he told us to go looking. Okay, but no, we still get interrupted. Never mind. I thought for a minute this wasn't going to happen. Yuck! And it doesn't present it as a, split in the timeline at all either. So, very much, it's irrelevant. But hey, at least we didn't kill someone, I guess.